It is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 5 o'clock on the West Coast. It is the 6th of February in the year of our Lord 2025, season 15, episode 30. 699 times you have been welcomed to the Clubhouse Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things sports, entertainment, pop culture, and pro wrestling. Live every Thursday night. I think we've only missed one so far this year, which is crazy for us. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Clubhouse Podcast, and I probably sound better than I did last week, but we're getting there. I'm getting out of the woods, as they say. I think this has just been allergies because our weather's been so all over the place, and it's going to drop 30 degrees in a couple of days. Alex out on assignment tonight as it is his and Sean's anniversary, so happy anniversary to you kids. But I am not by myself. That way, he is the official fact checker of Sooner Gator Productions, and he is not by himself for the first time in a few days. You may know him as Igbunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, man.
Yeah, the fantastic Fate Ford made it back, which we're all happy about. So, you know, that's always a good thing. But a word of advice, do not leave your refrigerator in the garage, the little door to the freezer part. Make sure it's closed all the way and it's not cracked open all night. Because if you do, you have to have the repairman come in and clean the fan and everything else, and not good. But speaking of fridges, I got to put this. New. This is greatness. Dr. Pepper, Blackberry. They have a diet. They do have a diet.
No!
It's new. It's interesting. I like it.
I'm not a big fan of prune flavored soda.
I am. I like the cherry Dr. Pepper too, and cherry Coke. So
if they ever bring the cherry vanilla diet Dr. Pepper back, my wife will be very happy.
Okay.
But it hasn't been around since the pandemic.
You said a cherry vanilla?
Vanilla diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
One of the main reasons she likes Sonic because she can have them make it.
Okay.
But yeah.
The lovely and talented Mrs. Irving loves that. I'll keep that in mind. If I keep on.
Irvin, there was no G.
Okay.
Irvin.
My bad.
Right there. You can read it right there.
Irvin.
Yeah. But we have a special guest joining us before too much longer. So we're going to hold off on our Superb Owl talk because we got a lot to talk about when it comes to the Superb Owl. But let's get into some NBA standings after a crazy week with the trade deadline ending today. If you live in this town, dear Lord, this town lost its mind on Sunday. I mean, granted, nobody saw Luka getting traded coming. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But, I mean, right now, the Mavericks are playing. They're in Boston, and they're winning this game by the better part of double digits. So let's tap the brake on the doom and gloom. Yeah. I think, I hope both teams do well.
Yeah.
Because my Heat finally got rid of Jimmy Butler. So I'm happy. But this is, people want to talk about loyalty and blah, blah, blah. It's all about the money anymore. And it's not, Luka didn't ask for a trade.
No, he didn't. He wanted to be a dirt.
AD is back here. And yeah. So I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah,
I hope. Right now they're up 9 on Boston early in the second quarter. So it's let's let this play out because it's also about to be NBA All-Star weekend next weekend.
But if they could have kept him and added somebody else greater, different story. But I think it's kind of like how people were so mad when LeBron left Cleveland and felt when he went to Miami and they felt and they're burning the jerseys and all that. But this wasn't Luka's decision. This was
right. This was ownership.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I think it's close, not near as bad, but it's in that kind of realm of how people felt when they got Boston got rid of Babe Ruth. They just say, "What were you thinking?" So who knows? We'll see.
Dallas now up 13.
Okay.
I mean, we got a lot of basketball to play. That's all I'm saying.
I understand.
But let's get to there's our special guest. Let's get him.
Oh boy.
Joining us now from Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. He is a man of mystery, but he is one of our favorite people. Ziggy's in the house. How you doing, brother?
I am good. I am good. I am in the car, so excuse the darkness.
No, that's all right. You're here, and that's what's important. So we can actually do things in order because we were holding off on NFL till you got here. If you haven't checked out Beer 30 Sports O'Clock, you need to. Ziggy does a great show. And, with the Superb Owl coming up this weekend, Alex is out on assignment. So we had to have somebody fill those shoes. It's coming Sunday. And Alex sent me 2 pages of prop bets.
Okay.
So this is one of the reasons I wanted to make sure we had Ziggy on. Well, a page and that. I mean, it's 3 columns worth. Yeah. So right now,
I will say that the greatness of Ziggy, that man could hit a golf club too. He knows
yeah,
football, but he can get it.
We'll get there. We'll get there, Don. Don't get ahead of me.
I'm just saying. I'm giving the man his props.
You know when we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So right now, Kansas City -1. I think this game's going to be a lot better than a lot of people think it will be. I picked Kansas City in August, so I've got to ride this thing out. You're the champs until somebody tells you otherwise. Phil Jackson could be about to get paid because he has because he owns the word 3P. He owns it. So he has licensed it to the Kansas City Chiefs for an undisclosed amount.
Wow.
So, yeah. So we're going to see what happens there. I mean, I got to ride with it. Give me Kansas City -1. What are you thinking, Don?
No line or with the line, I'm still going to take Philly since it's only 1. And when the Super Bowl is 1 point, that means when you have everybody and their dog looking at this game, it's not like it's the Thursday night game of whatever. This is a Super Bowl, and you got bettors all over the world. When you have it only be 1, it's not like a 13-point blowout like some Super Bowls in the past. So I think honestly that I'm going for Philly on this. I think Philly's going to win. It'll be a tight game.
All right, Ziggy, we're just not even going to bury the lead. Ziggy, who you?
So listen, my head is with Philly.
Where's your wallet?
But my wallet is with Kansas City. Listen,
you're the champ until somebody tells you otherwise.
I don't believe. I think they did this on purpose to make everybody think like, oh, Philly, ride the Philly wave. I think that Vegas knew what they were doing. That's why they made them the favorite, and they're gonna win. It's gonna be a close game, but it's gonna be like a 42-40 kind of game, 48-46 kind of game. Somebody's gonna go for an extra 2-pointer, miss it, and Super Bowl won, Super Bowl loss, basically. So
you're saying right now you're going to take the over at 49.
Absolutely. Do you know how much these teams scored in the last Super Bowl they faced each other?
Oh, yeah.
35-38, Kansas City, obviously, but they scored 70 some odd points.
73. Yeah.
Yeah, but without Saquon Barkley, without Xavier Worthy, like I just feel like this is gonna be a 50 or this is gonna be a 60 to 80 point game. I'm slamming the over. I'm big money on the over.
Don, what you thinking? Over under?
Both. I'm taking Philly on this since it's only 1 point for me.
Over under is 49.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant with the line. Sorry,
no, you've already told me.
I'll take the over. If it's 40, yeah, I'm taking the over.
The over under on the national anthem right now is 2 minutes and a half a second. That's going to be sung by John Baptiste. Excuse me. I heard it this morning on Bob and Tom because Chick McGee, big betting guy. He actually found a website where they found out why the over-under sits on where it does. John Baptiste sang the national anthem in 2017 at the NBA All-Star Game.
Yes, he
Clocked
did.
in at 1 minute and 59 seconds, which is why your over-under is 2 minutes and a half a second. He's not a guy that I think is going to trick it up. He used to be Colbert's band leader. You know what? Give me the under. I think he'll hit that same mark he hit at the NBA All-Star Game. Dom, what you thinking?
Hey, on this one, I'll take the over.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's what's the Super Bowl. You want to do it perfect. You want to extend the Rockets red glare, that kind of thing. Keep them going.
Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ziggy, what you got? Over under.
Listen, I agree. I think it's gonna go over. Because one, John Baptiste is from New Orleans. That's why this is kind of a big thing. Two, I think that he's going to put on a show. I think he's gonna try to show the world why he was brought in to do this, not only because he's from New Orleans, but he is absolutely a great artist. So I think this is where he proves it over the 2 minute mark, over 2.5 second mark. That's crazy.
You got Alex. I think he's got some of these confused because he has both of these at minus. Any player or coach to cry during the anthem. Give me the yes. That's an ATM right there.
Yes, yeah.
Live shots of Taylor Swift during the game. Over under is 5.5. Hammer the over because you might have that in the first quarter.
Especially if it's a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
If Kelsey scores a couple touchdowns in this game, they're gonna be Taylor Swift every 30 seconds.
Every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, facts.
Okay. If I can on this one, the only way I would go under, or I could see it as an under, is if, which I don't think is going to happen, but Philly comes out and clobbers them, and it's like the Broncos 49ers Super Bowl where it's 55-10. If it's a blowout, they're not going to show Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, they will. They absolutely will.
If it's 55-10 for Philly?
Yes. Philly, here's why. Number one, they want the emotion. Number two, they got to keep eyes on the game.
Yeah.
You cut to Taylor Swift so people don't change the channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kicker to hit the upright or crossbar on a kick, yes, plus 330, no, minus 500. I don't think that happens. Not in this game.
Is it either kicker?
Yeah, either one.
I'd slide a little fun money to yes. Elliott, the kicker for Eagles, he's known for swinging them left or right. So I could see him hitting the upright.
If I can on this one, I would say yes, there's a good chance because I think this is going to be a blowout game, but it's going to be a tough game. And when you're going to have some of those 35, some of those 45,
Don, I
50.
I think you mean a shootout, not a blowout.
No, shootout. That's what I said.
You said blowout.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a tough game, and there's going to be a lot of field goal attempts. And so I think that with a lot of field goal attempts, especially if they're out so far, there might be a chance that if it's going to happen once, I'd say yeah, it'll happen.
Color Gatorade dumped on the winning coach. I feel like it's going to be orange regardless of who wins. Right now, orange plus 500. Clear is plus 1,000. Red plus 700. Yellow plus 450. Blue plus 600. And purple plus 210.
I'm leaning towards red or orange regardless of who wins. I don't know. I would probably sprinkle a little on orange and sprinkle a little on red. I don't think clear at all. That doesn't even sound right.
Don?
I had to pick one color, I'd say orange.
Score in the last 3.5 minutes of the game. Yes at minus 190. No at plus 165. Alex is saying yes. I'm going to tie this in with another prop bet. Yes, there will be a score in the last 3.5 minutes. I'm also going to take the over at the longest touchdown being over 40.5 yards because I think that last winning score inside 3.5 minutes is going to be a dart play.
Okay.
What do you boys think?
I think yes to the 3 minutes or 3.5 minute mark as far as as a touchdown is scored. The 40-yarder touchdown, both these defenses are in the top 10. I just don't. I think it's gonna be one of those. You're gonna have to work for every touchdown, which both offenses can score. Both offenses are gonna score. Obviously, I'm taking the over, so I think they will. But I think that it's gonna be dink and dunk or chunk yardage. I don't think it's gonna be any big explosive touchdown out of nowhere, out of 40+ yards. So
shortest touchdown at a yard and a half. I'm with Alex. Give me the under because there will be the brotherly shove at least once in this game.
I could go on the prior
Don,
thing.
go.
Yeah. I think 3.5 minutes. Yeah, there'll be some kind of score, of course. I think it'll be a close game to the end. Secondly, I think there will be a 40-yard score. I think somebody will just get a breakout and go. I think there's going to be one play where somebody's going to get open and be able to go.
My gut tells me Barkley's going to break one. It may only happen once, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That dude, he just knows how to find the hole and just run right through it. Like it's man, he's amazing. Let's see what else do we have here. Total interceptions in the game at 1.5. Give me the over just because it would take one of each.
I agree. I see.
Fumbles also at 1.5.
What's it? What 1.5 did you say?
Both interceptions and fumbles at 1.5 is your over-under.
I'd take over on both.
Alex says both teams peanut punch a lot, which he's right. Ziggy.
I'm with him on the peanut punch, so give me the fumbles over. I don't know about the over on the interceptions. I think I might take the under on the interceptions. I think it may be one or none interceptions. Jalen Hurts is going to give one away, but that's maybe it.
He says, will there be an octopus? I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to on that, but he says yes, plus 1,600. Lotto ticket on Hurts or Barkley because both should score and will only need the 2-point conversion. Oh, will there be an 8-point play? That's what he's asking.
Oh.
No is minus 6 G's.
It's minus 6,000?
Yeah, so bet 6,000 to win 100.
No, I'm good on that one. But yeah, there's definitely going to be an 8-point play in there somewhere.
Longest Barkley over 25.5 yards. I've already said he'll break one, so give me the over. Anybody want to take the under?
Over 25 yards? Yeah.
Yep.
Just on one run?
I believe that's what it's saying. But it just says over, so it might be a general over-under. And if it's a general over-under, over all day.
All the way. Yeah, I was going to say over all the way if it's just general. But I don't know. I looked at it recently. I thought his yardage was like 69.5 or something like that.
Yeah, it might be a single play.
Yeah.
I would put it that low because everybody would hammer the over.
Yeah, no, one play 25-yarder, over 25. I mean, I guess I could see it.
And I think he gets it early because I think Philly comes out and just feeds him early to set the tone.
If they get the ball early, they gotta see. Like that's the thing is the coin flip is gonna matter in this game a lot because whoever gets the ball first gets to set the tone. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna take the over on the 25 yards as well.
Take over.
All right. What are your expectations of this game? I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I will be locked in. I mean, I'm basically leaving church and darting to where I'm going. There's going to be no Philly fallying because I love the pregame. I love all the things. I want to be there as all of this unfolds, as we name the MVP at the end of the game and the confetti and all the things. I am ready for this game. I'm just not ready for the season to be over.
I think that's all of us. I think, well, especially me. Last week I didn't know what to do with myself. The Super Bowl or the Pro Bowl is a kind of, I mean, it's fun to watch them try to play around and flag football and stuff, but it just didn't feel the same. And my Sunday just felt very empty.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong on any level.
it felt so empty. I watched the basketball, but it didn't feel the same. Maybe because I know I got like 6 more months of basketball before it mattered. Yeah. But yeah, so listen, I don't know if I want to listen to all the analytical talk because I don't necessarily like the part of that part of it. I will be watching the commercials.
Yes, sir.
In the beginning, I'll be watching the commercials to see who takes up that front spot, who comes up with the best commercials. Because my team, my friends and family, will put a bet on like Budweiser, random, now Uber Eats. Who's gonna have like the best, like who's gonna have the commercial that makes everybody laugh? Oh my God, or how terrible that was, or whatever the case may be.
The only one I've watched so far, because I like to watch it live, is I had to watch the Fantastic Four trailer. Like that was not going to get away from me. But everything else I've stayed away from. Don, what are your expectations for Sunday evening?
First up, I think it'll be a close game. I think there'll be some good commercials on that. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout, which is the big thing on that. We've got to. What about the coin flip? Did we get into that?
It's basically just call it. Tails never fails. I always go with tails. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I was just wondering what the line was on that.
They're both minus 101.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say tails on that, on the coin flip too.
All right, we were talking a little bit of NBA before Ziggy logged on, and the chaos that was this town. Currently, Mavericks are up 18 on Boston. Let's get into your standings. Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. Toronto has 16 wins, and they're 20 back in the division. They are a game back on Brooklyn. The Nets are 3.5 back on Philly. Philly now 13.5 games back on the Knicks, but Boston has won 4 in a row going into tonight, and they're 2 up on New York. In the Central Division that has no Eastern or Western, the Chicago Bulls have won 22 games, but they're still 19.5 back. They're 3.5 back on the Detroit Pistons, former champs of basketball. The Pistons are 3 back on Milwaukee. Bucks are a game back on Indiana. Pacers are now 12 back on Cleveland as we're getting very, very close to the All-Star break. In the Southeast Division, the Washington Wizards. They are still waiting for their 10th win. They are 9-41 right now. Now, I sent Alex Ziggy, I don't know if you saw this stat the other day. 36 of the Wizards' 41 losses came in 2 16-game losing streaks.
They are now the new Detroit Pistons.
This is insane.
Yeah, that's why they traded away Kuzma.
They're 4 back of Charlotte. The Hornets are now 9.5 back of Atlanta. Atlanta's a 1.5 back of Orlando. Miami has now taken the lead in that division, and I really just want them to just go off now that Jimmy Butler's gone. In the Pacific Division of the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors, where he went, are currently 5 games back. By the way, the point differential for the Wizards, they're averaging a minus 13.5 point differential in the NBA. Golden State is tied with Phoenix, who are also tied with Sacramento. They are 3 back on the Clippers, and the Clippers are 2 back on the Lakers, who have won 3 in a row. In the Southwest Division, Fly Pelican, they're 23 games back, and they've won 3 more than Washington. They are 12.5 back on the Spurs. The Spurs, who made some interesting moves this week as well, are 2.5 back on the Mavericks. The Mavericks now 6.5 back on Houston. But Memphis has won 4 in a row, while Houston has lost 4 in a row. So they now have a 2.5 game lead in that division. And in the Northwest Division, Utah, who's still happy they've got a hockey team, they've won 12 games, but they're 28 games out of first place. They are 9 games back on Portland, who's won 5 in a row. Portland 6 back on Minnesota. Minnesota now 4 back on Denver. Denver's now 9 back on Oklahoma City, who their big star had another 50-point game last night. I'm sorry. Let's get into the NHL as we get close to North America's favorite game show. In the Eastern Conference. No, that's not what I want. Go there, please. Atlantic Division, the Buffalo Sabres are terrible. They're what? almost 30 points out of first place. They're 6 back on the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh.
I had to do that by myself 2 weeks ago, Don, just so you know.
Oh, is it Jim Dunham?
I was the only one here. They are 5 points back on Boston. Boston and Tampa Bay are tied. Tampa Bay kind of in a free fall right now. They are a point back on Detroit. Detroit is a point back on the Senators. Ottawa, it's 4 back on Toronto. Toronto's now a point back on my beloved Panthers. And now where are we going, Don?
The Metropolitan Division.
That is correct. In the basement there are the Philadelphia Flyers. Don, you're tied with Pittsburgh. You're with Philly for the cellar of that division.
Yeah, we suck.
You're 3 back on the Rangers. The Rangers now a point back on the Islanders. Islanders 2 back on Columbus. Blue Jackets are now 7 points back of Jersey. The Devils 2 back of Carolina. And the Hurricanes now 9 points back of the Washington Capitals as Ovechkin gets that much closer to Gretzky's all-time goal record. I think he's got like 16 to go. In the Central Division of the Western Conference that also has no Eastern or Western, the Chicago Blackhawks are still terrible. They're 41 points out of first place right now, and it's not even the All-Star break. They are 5 points back of Nashville Predators, or 10 back of the Blues, who are tied with Utah. Keep Hockey Club. Don't do all those other names. Utah Hockey Club. Do it. They are 11 points back of Colorado. Avalanche 2 back on Minnesota. Wild 3 back on Dallas. Dallas is now 10 points back on Winnipeg, who's on a 7-game heater. In the Pacific Division, San Jose put a pin in it. Seattle currently 2 points back on Anaheim. The Ducks are now 7 back on Calgary. Calgary and Vancouver are tied. They're 3 back on LA. LA now 6 back on Vegas, where I will be in a couple of months. And Vegas now 4 back on Edmonton. Gentlemen, are you ready for North America's favorite game show?
Yes, I am.
All right. It's time to play. What is the goal differential for the San Jose Sharks?
You want me to go first, or do you give the honors to Ziggy?
Ziggy, we will give you honors. This is North America's favorite game show that we play during hockey season. We also do it during baseball season. What is the goal differential for the San Jose Sharks?
Oh, my gosh. And you picked the Sharks?
Because they have the worst. It's always the worst team in the league. And they've been the worst team almost bell to bell so far.
90?
The only team to go bell to bell is the White Sox.
Oh. 90?
All right, Don?
Saying it, I'm just going to do it again. -50.
The San Jose Sharks have played 55 games. In those 55 games, they are 15, 34, and 6.
Oof.
They are at 36 points. They are currently 36. If they double their point total, they would be tied for first.
Wow.
They are 9-17-1 at home. They are 6-17-5 on the road. They are 2-8-0 in their last 10. Now, the closest team to them from a goal differential standpoint is also in the Western Conference, which would be the Chicago Blackhawks at -45. In the Eastern Conference, you've got Pittsburgh at -37.
Oh, boy.
And Philly at -30. Everybody else is closer than that. Nashville at -33. The San Jose Sharks on February the 6th, right before their All-Star break, has a goal differential of -62.
Ah.
So Ziggy went over. Don wins without going over.
Oh, boy. I'm famous.
All right, boys, let's get into TV talk and stuff we watched this week. TV edition. Anything you watched this week, Don? I didn't get to watch much TV this week. I've been under the weather. I've been
Since I was off the last week, I saw it on Peacock, and they did the first episode on NBC. That new series called Hunting Party.
Is this the one where the families are in the studio?
No.
Oh no, this is a series. This isn't a reality show, right?
This is a series. This is a TV series, and they just showed the pilot on the other night on NBC, but it's on Peacock as a pre-thing. Basically, what happened is you have this former FBI profiler who's kind of burned out, and they put her in a casino to kind of watch the cheating. They call her and say, "We need help." And basically, this guy, the serial killer she used to go after, they executed him. All that, they're asking questions. He goes, "Why? What's going on?" Well, actually, all these serial killers they've been keeping in the underground prison secretly to study these serial killers. So they say we executed them, but actually they put them in the prison as a secret government program, and that actually there's a prison break from that secret prison that no one knows existed. So all of a sudden, imagine if all of a sudden Ted Bundy comes alive saying, "Hi, I'm here," and he's on another spree.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but no, it was a very good film. I mean, a good show. I was impressed on. I'm like, yeah, I want more of that. I like the plot of it. Yeah.
Ziggy, anything you watched this week of note?
I saw that commercial for that show. I didn't know it was that kind of style. That's kind of dope. So I'm slow when it comes to TV. So don't judge me. I just started watching Landman.
I've heard very good things, so I ain't gonna hate on you.
I'm 3 episodes in, and man, it's one of Billy Bob Thornton's greatest pieces of work. He is just himself, at least what I imagine him to be, because that's pretty much all the roles he gets. And my God, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. And then also Severance. I'm on episode 3 of that as well, I think. And it's starting out kind of confusing, but it's I can tell it's going somewhere. So
just to reiterate what I mentioned last week, I have watched all 4 episodes of the SNL 50 documentaries. They're very, very good. And I also watched the Ladies and Gentlemen, the Best of SNL Music, which was co-directed by Questlove. And it's really well done. I put the opening video on my Facebook page just so you can see the mega mix they did. That was dope.
How many SNL shows, different things you said? Were there 4?
There's 4 documentaries. The first one's called 5 Minutes, and it's about the audition process.
Okay.
The third one is basically a week in the life of the show from the writer's standpoint.
Okay.
The 4th episode, let me look at my notes. Don't get me lying. The 4th episode it's called The Weird Year. It's about season 11 when Lauren comes back and they're trying to get the wheels on after things being terrible for 5 years. Okay. But episode 2 is an entire 46-minute documentary just about the cowbell sketch.
About the what?
The cowbell sketch.
Okay. Oh,
it's just about that, and it's awesome.
Were they on? Are they on Peacock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sure they're going to be airing them as we get close to the a week from tomorrow is the 50th anniversary special that will be live, and then next Friday at 7 only on Peacock they're doing like a 3-hour music special with the list of that guest is stoked. So I'm looking forward to that as well. If you watched the Roy Wood Jr. show, Have I Got News for You? One of the people on that show is the very, very funny Amber Ruffin. It was announced this week that she will be the featured entertainer for the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Oh, no.
I love her. She is great.
She's good. I can imagine this.
Yeah. And then the 16th is also the day that tonight with John Oliver comes back. Hulu. Yeah, a week from tomorrow.
Okay.
Hulu has canceled How to Die Alone after 1 season. We were just talking about NBC Peacock. They have inherited Married at First Sight from Lifetime for 3 seasons.
No!
I'm out.
Yeah.
And they have canceled Hysteria! After 1 season. So, and Netflix has announced that season 3 of Squid Game will debut June 27th, Don.
Okay, so that's June. Okay.
And they are calling it season 3. We had a discussion on the show a few weeks ago of would it be season 2.5. It is being labeled as season 3. So
not saying anything.
Nothing of note on TV for DVD and Blu-ray this week. We have one quick music note that came down last night. Irv Gotti passing away at the age of 54. If you know anything about 90s and early 2000s hip-hop, this was the man that founded Murder Inc. If you don't have him, you don't have people like Ja Rule. Musical, just he knew talent. And at 54, it's just crazy. I mean, you could go down the list of stuff. I'm going to go through it real quick. Let me go to the Wikipedia of Wiki so I can get some. Let's American record producer. I love how formal Wikipedia is. But you're looking at Murder Inc. was a division of Def Jam. He had Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti. He executive produced DMX's It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, which is one of his best albums.
Yes, sir.
Started as a DJ at parties in Queens, where he discovered Mike Geronimo, and then he became a talent scout for TVT Records. He was also briefly a DJ for Jay-Z early on. And Jay-Z, one of my personal favorites, one of two hip-hop artists that doesn't write lyrics down. I mean, this guy knew what he was doing. Between Mike Geronimo, Foxy Brown, who else? She did come back in one piece of Aaliyah and DMX. Christina Milian, of course, Between Me and You, What's Love, which is a banger. He did the murder remix of Jennifer Lopez's I'm Real, which really slows that song down. Really, that whole remix album is really good. Always on Time, which I love. I mean, the list he did the where did I just lose it? There was one. Okay, I thought there was one he did that he didn't. Memphis Bleak, The Game. He actually did Violent Crimes for Kanye West and Brothers with Kanye West. Like, the guy knew talent. An absolute loss in the world of hip hop, and our best go out to his fans and friends and family. Anything you guys want to add on that?
Man, being a Queens native and my family being close to Ja Rule and the family with Irv and everybody, take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. I lost a friend in December to diabetes, and that's basically what's being told, is that it was a stroke from diabetes, and just that, or second stroke from diabetes, and you just got to take care of yourself, man. It's sad, no matter what you think of him outside of the music, for the stuff with Ashanti and all the other crazy jokes and 50 Cent, and all the beef and all that stuff like that. 54 is just far too young. So
agreed.
Yeah. So
let's move on to movies and stuff we watched this week. Movie edition. I also didn't watch any movies this week, Don. I know you saw two that we'll talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
Any other movies you guys want to talk about that you saw this week? I will say that coming up, I believe it's next weekend, I'm guesting on Matinee Heroes, and we're going to talk about Dazed and Confused for their 420th episode.
Well, that's dope. No, the only two movies is the one that, which is we'll talk about later.
All right. Any movies you watched this week, Ziggy?
I kind of fell asleep through Gladiator 2.
You know what? I don't blame you.
Don't blame you.
I was so distraught about that. I was like, oh, when I was on the show last time, and I was like, oh, I really want to see that. And I think, it was probably you that said, like, oh, it's just there. So yeah. I feel you now. It's just there. So
reality, I always love Ridley
halfway
Scott.
through, I like reading over to Alex, and I said, if he fights a shark, I'm leaving.
It's called Reality. I love Ridley Scott, but I mean, how do you, in middle of Rome during that time period, how do you get a landlocked city, not even near the coast, to put live sharks in a thing? How did they travel them there? Let alone catch them alive when they didn't even have fishing equipment and technology like today. Give me a break.
They did what I read down there is a scaled down version of that they actually did, but without the sharks, and it was a lot more shallow water.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I know they did with the water. I understand that, but not with man-eating sharks in the middle of it. It's like, dear Lord. In that time of technology.
Some movie headlines this week. Denai Gira and will be joining John Cena in the Matchbox Cars movie. They're doing a movie based on Matchbox Cars.
Remind me not to watch it.
Oh, I'm going to bring you with me. You kidding me? Matthew Lillard will be returning for Scream 7 because that franchise will not go away.
That's what I said. This is Scream 7?
Yeah, Scream 7.
Yeah, can we say Ice Aged?
And Don, you will be happy to know I watched a video earlier this week over the weekend. I want to say it was What Culture did the film series that need to stop making movies, and Ice Age was number 1.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And you guys remember a movie a few years ago with Anna Kendrick and Mrs. Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively, that was called A Simple Favor?
I think of Facade.
There is a sequel coming out. It's called Another Simple Favor, and it will be the film that opens South by Southwest this year. Because it's that time of year that we start talking about South by.
South by Southwest.
I am not ready for. I'm not ready for festival season. It's just give me a little time to breathe, man. But movie new releases and places you get movie new releases this week. There's a movie called Parthenope. This is the name of the main character. She's a woman who bears the name of her city. Is she a siren or is she a myth? This is a foreign film that had its debut at the Cannes Film Festival this year. Also, why do you think that releases this week? That came out last year. Let's see. What else do we have this week? A movie called When I'm Ready. It's the end of the world. Seeking meaning and thrills in their last days alive, Rose and Michael embark on a cross-country road trip as a devastating asteroid weapons to wipe out life on Earth. So, Dermot Mulroney's in this.
Well, basically, it's Meteor or Armageddon.
Lauren Cohan's in this. Those are the only names I can recognize. But Don has seen 2 of the new releases coming out in theaters tomorrow. Don, let's start with a film I am very much interested in. By the way, he has written reviews. Both of those are located at www.theclubhousepodcast.com.
That's our website.
Let's start with Love Hurts with Kihei Kwan, which is the movie I am looking very much forward to. You saw this last night.
Yes, I did.
Directed by Jonathan Eusebio, who is a very well-known stuntman.
Yeah, his directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
To put that out there. It's 83 minutes, so it's very short. You're not going to get your money's worth. And it's John Wick, the remake, where they try to add some comedy, and it doesn't work.
Ariana DeBose is in this. Daniel Wu is in this. Marshawn Lynch is in this.
Yeah.
Sean Astin is in this. Reese Darby is in this. Don, there was a little piece to this that you did not mention in your written review that I don't know if you noticed.
What's that?
The names of the 2 cops.
Oh, yeah. What was it, Hobbs or whatever?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
And one of them being played by...
Don't know. One, I'm trying to... This was... Hold on. Hobbs and Shaw. No, this is on The Eyes or whatever.
Oh, is it the other one? Okay. That's right.
No,
it's the other one we're going to talk about, which is Love Hurts.
Yeah, that's
when I got confused.
Okay. Yeah.
No, not Love Hurts. Hard Eyes.
Hard Eyes, yeah.
Where's my head at today?
Yeah.
This is Jordana Brewster.
Yeah.
She's one of the cops, and they are Hobbs and Shaw, which just makes it. But they said they wrote it that way before she was cast.
Yeah.
For the past several years, the Hard Eyes killer has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and murdering romantic couples. This Valentine's Day, no couple is safe. We have a Devin Sawa sighting. It's a name we haven't said in a very long time. He's in this. Olivia Holt, Jordana Brewster. Let's see here.
It was a good cast for what it is. There was a couple of those idiotic decisions that they made in it. It's like, okay, we're being chased by a killer. Should we go left and run towards the the big police van with the SWAT team standing right by it, or do we run into the empty, abandoned old house? Which one do we run into? Which way do we run? And they run towards the abandoned warehouse, with
As one does.
yeah, that kind of mentality. But still, for a good flick, it was innovative on some of the killings, I could say. Kind of like the John Wick innovation, you could say. A little fun, some comedy. It had a good kind of twist to it. I kind of liked it for what it was.
I was gonna say, low key, this is probably one of the only ones since the original like Scream that I kind of wanted to see. Like
from the same producers. So
So I'm kind of like, okay, Hard Eyes. Like when I first saw the preview, it was kind of by accident. I was at an event and they just had it on loop with the YouTube, had an ad on it, and I was like, whoa, like they are like gory with it.
I'd say on if I had to see between Love Hurts or Hard Eyes, I would see Hard Eyes over Love Hurts.
Okay.
Between the two. Yeah.
And I will be checking out Love Hurts this weekend as well because I have A-list. Well, if I got time, I might not leave it out. You don't know. All right. Movies on DVD and Blu-ray this coming Tuesday, where you get movies on DVD and Blu-ray. A movie that is the very rare occasion that made the top 3 for all 3 of the boys on this show. Conclave comes on Blu-ray. Go see this movie. I think you can stream it on Peacock. It is fantastic.
It's on Peacock.
Ghost of Mars gets the collector's edition, if you remember that film. Also, collector's editions of John Carpenter's Vampires, which is a very underrated film, in my opinion. I very much enjoyed that film. And Last Voyage of the Demeter, which came out last year. And then Arrow Video has special editions of Alice, Sweet Alice, and A Certain Killer, A Killer's Key. Also found out this week, if you go to your local Barnes & Nobles, all February long, all of their Lionsgate titles are up to 50% off. They did it with Arrow Video last month, and I didn't know. I wish I would have known. Because they've got a version of Weird Science I want to get. All right. And now, this. The Cheap Podcast is your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling. It's time to get into it. And you might say to yourself, how much is Ziggy going to have to say on this? The answer is he's going to have quite a bit because he was with us last Saturday night, which we greatly appreciated you coming out, sir, for the Royal Rumble at X Golf in Frisco. I had to get Alex's notes for this. I loved the lower thirds that they did this year, Ziggy, because you may not know, the whole running tally across the bottom, they've never done that before.
Okay.
This to me is very TKO influenced, and I'm here for it. I loved it. I loved how they had the flag for the country they were representing. For the men, they had the height and the weight. Of course, for the women, you don't do that. But I like the stats they were throwing up because I am a bit of a stat nerd in that category. Alex said the intervals were 2 minutes for the most part. A couple of them came in kind of quick, but he did say for the most part they were sitting at 2 minutes. We had the Liv Morgan, he says, with the super pro move, knocking Lyra down on a side to so the refs could help with the wardrobe malfunction. Yes, that happened very early on. Great work by the camera guys, too, to not catch anything they shouldn't have as Lyra's neck strap came undone and kept everybody on the opposite side of the ring. Alexa Bliss returned with... Don, did you see the back of her jacket?
No, I did.
It was a tribute to Bray Wyatt, where it said Fiend Forever, but there was an E and an S, so they were really tiny, so it said Friends Forever.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's good to see Alexa back. Alex, and I don't disagree with him. This person they've got doing the theme music, it's just not good. Start licensing it back out, please. I beg you.
For what? Whose music?
In general, these newer themes are just not good. I'm not enjoying them for the most part. They're all starting to sound the same. They said something on the broadcast that we didn't know, that apparently Zelina Vega and Amazing Red are cousins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. that was a shocking development that Alex and I both were like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Charlotte has 14 world titles, 16 if you include NXT.
Okay.
So we're going to see how that maps out. They did highlight the Cosm coverage, and Cole said they went wild for Nikki Bella, but the video, there was zero excitement. Like, it was very wah-wah for me. The only reaction they had on the video was a woman shaking her head in disappointment, but Charlotte does win the Women's Rumble to the surprise of literally no one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like Batista. They just kind of telegraphed it. So, the best 2 out of 3 falls match was a great match. Brilliant storytelling that Alex says about the first DIY fall. No belts change hands, which, again, to the surprise of pretty much no one. I thought
the tag would have changed.
I think we're, like I said on the show, I think we're saving that for Mania.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cody's gear, he said, was a natural homage and the first number 20 to ever win the Rumble. As by the way, I'm gonna come back to this. Jey Uso, which I don't know anybody that would have called that. I had a couple of people say they thought they would like to see him win. My reaction was, man, they've kept him in that main event, no pun intended, area for a long time, but to let him win the Rumble, and then he did. Ziggy, what were your thoughts about the event?
First off, I haven't watched a Royal Rumble or a ladder match for that matter in years. And I forgot how crazy the ladder matches can get because, like, I really thought Homeboy died.
We say that about once every time there's a ladder match, and wait until you see Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank is the craziest ladder match of all of them.
Okay, so then, yeah. So the Royal Rumble, I'm low-key mad they're 21 because I had dibs on. I think I had John Cena. I thought John Cena would have took it once I seen him.
Well, that was who we all thought was going to win.
Yeah,
we thought the same thing with Charlotte because it was so telegraphed, and then he made it to the final 2 and didn't win.
Yeah, so I was shocked. I was thinking definitely Cena. I didn't know Cena was. I mean, again, I don't watch wrestling that often, but I didn't know Cena was still wrestling. I thought Cena was a movie star, and
well, he's not wrestling full time, but this is the final year. Like, this is it. So this is his farewell tour. So
and then I saw later on. I saw some clips of I Show Speed.
Yeah.
How he got
the multiple camera angles of getting speared out of his shoes. But no R-Truth, and I was very upset about that.
You said what?
There's a guy named R-Truth that we love because he's just crazy. And he did not, like last year, he came out during the Women's Rumble. Like, that's kind of his bit. Like, and there was no R-Truth in this. One of a very interesting piece of storytelling, Don, and I want to know if you noticed this. With the way, is Don frozen?
No, I want to tell you, I was looking up something. If I get back to the Rumble about Jey Uso, nobody picking him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the betting odds were like John Cena was like the negative 100 and like 4-1, and Reigns was 10-1. Rollins, Jey Uso was like 20-1 to win. No one in most things he didn't even have him up there. CSX was like 4-1.
But something I went back and looked at, Don, because I thought it was a very interesting piece of storytelling. Finn was eliminated before Dom got to the Rumble. Because I was kind of wondering with this whole teasing of Finn breaking away, and as I have read, he's in line for a huge singles push this year. I was wondering how they were going to treat he and Dom being in the Rumble at the same time, but they weren't. So they were able to keep that story at bay, which then they addressed a little bit on Raw as we just lost Ziggy.
Okay.
We get him back. But I thought that was a great piece of storytelling.
Oh yeah, I thought the Rumble. I thought it was a good Rumble overall. It was the only thing I think was predictable is when he had most the people in the 20s were, except for Roman, all the favorites were like 23 and above.
Yeah.
And so
but it was also a very there were a lot of people. There wasn't a lot of fat to be trimmed in either rumble.
no.
Like outside of maybe a handful of people in each one, like the majority of the people that were in the rumble could have legitimately won.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since Ziggy, you're muted, by the way. It's been a long time, I think, since we've been able to say that.
But we had the spur of the moment person added or whatever, or there's always that surprise person, or there's always that kind of. Instead of putting that one, YouTuber guy or whatever, who was the one who made the Triple H says, "Get out there, take a spot."
That's what we were talking about. Got speared out of his shoes.
Yeah, I would have rather had Santino Marella get in there and actually see. I made it more than 1 second.
Well, there was one pivot because Jordan Grace was a last-minute addition.
Oh, was she? Okay.
He took Shotzi's place. Shotzi was supposed to be in the Rumble. But Jordan Grace took that place. I'm interested to see, because we are now officially on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is actually Easter weekend this year.
Oh no.
And the second night is on 4/20, which is even weirder because it's in Vegas. But we have Elimination Chamber coming up March 1st. Will be the next one. Stay by the channel as we kind of negotiate those waters. Next weekend is both NXT Vengeance Day and AEW Grand Slam Australia, which I don't know. The thing is, they're not starting that broadcast until after, because TNT is carrying the NBA All-Star Game stuff.
And they're not going to show it live.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's slated to start at 10:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be on that much of a delay because they're in Brisbane. But
yeah, they're not showing it. They're not showing it live though.
It'll be on tape delay.
Yeah, tape delay.
But we don't have an exact moment because we don't know how long the All-Star Game stuff's going to go.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can get it recorded because that's a late night for me. I'm old. So we'll see how that goes. Apollo Crews is injured and has had surgery, so he is on the mend. Just a couple of notes. I like what they did with the New Day on Raw. That new entrance, that now that they've gone heel.
Yeah.
They've changed everything and it looks cool, but I need to know where this is going and I need us to get there. That's all.
And they didn't even get it entrance this time. It's just they're in the ring and the music was going.
No, they got an entrance, Don. That's
it must have been
they like a whole dark video game thing.
Okay. My bad.
Don, did you watch NXT?
No.
Did you hear what happened on NXT?
No, I did not.
So Lexus King is in the ring bragging about the fact that he has the Heritage Cup.
Okay.
Wondering who's gonna challenge him. And then a song played. Dun 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 dun.
They brought it back.
But he came out as JDC because he's part of the system. He's going to be the challenger. But the fact that they played the Fandango theme and not the system theme, because when they played it, I'm like, dear God, let him come out in the outfit and do the whole bit. And then he didn't, and I was like, wait a minute.
He didn't come out as the dancer?
No, he didn't. So you may want to go back and watch that, Don.
Okay.
Because Ziggy, for people that don't know, when Don first joined the show, that was his nickname, was Fandango.
Yeah. Don, 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 don.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
I both take the credit and the blame for that. Yep. By the way, Mavs now up by 18 with about halfway through the third. Good. On the Boston Celtics.
I will ask, what did you guys think of the trade?
It's February was my basic opinion. Like, I don't understand. I thought was it bad business? Yeah. Especially when apparently Jason Kidd didn't even know. But
yeah,
this is all going to work out. The Mavericks have a good lineup. I think it was the shock value of all of it that there was no precursor, and now I think Luka's going to live his best life. He said he likes being by the ocean.
Yeah.
And LeBron loves him.
Well,
He said,
yeah.
"Nice player in the
He
league."
has him in his phone as Big 23. So
Yeah.
I think in the short term it's a good trade for the Mavs. In the long term, it's a better trade for the Lakers.
I think we'll know more probably, as we get into the dog days of late March, early April.
Right.
This thing
from what I heard though, and I could be wrong, is they really didn't shop around. And if you were to go to other franchises and say, "Hey, we got this guy we're willing to trade," and went to the 10 other teams, I guarantee you we got a better trade from at least 2 teams than what the Lakers gave us.
I
Here's
don't
the
know,
thing, Don. The Mavericks are up 20. AD's not even dressed.
Yeah.
But
on the Boston Celtics.
I understand, but you get my point that they never shopped this guy around.
Well, yes, I get that point, but also what players are you so Luka Doncic, I always mess his name up, but he is a generational talent, right? But there are a lot of teams that have a superstar that they would not trade. There are a lot of teams that would not have done the trade. Only teams that would make that kind of trade would be the Lakers or Miami or Boston, but I don't see Boston getting rid of anybody on that championship team. So my thing is, they felt that I mean, here's where I think. I think first off, I think Rob Polinsky, Danny Ainge knew about the whole thing, and Danny Ainge is the Boston Celtics general manager, or whatever the case would be. I call Danny Ainge just like I call Howie Roseman for the Eagles. They are literally the thieves in the night. They will steal your franchise player in a heartbeat. And
will not lose a lick of sleep over it.
And not lose any sleep and not lose draft picks. The one thing that I think that the Mavs did right is not lose any draft picks to build for the future for later. And 2, they didn't get a slouch back. They didn't get a bunch of pieces to whatever. They got a guy that's arguably a Hall of Famer when healthy. And I feel like the reason they didn't do it that way is because then you give Luka the power. You give Luka the power to say, "Nah, if you trying to trade me, I'm only going to go here." And now your hand is forced, like the Jimmy Butler situation. I think Nico did the right thing for the future, if all the rumors are true. And I also think that there's some truth to the owners maybe trying to force Dallas or Texas' hand about, listen, you're either going to give us gambling in Texas, or we're taking your storied franchise, one of the only franchises that's won a championship in the biggest market in Texas, to Vegas. Do with that what you want.
Well, and you also have to look at it from the standpoint of that Supermax deal that they were going to have to offer him.
Right.
Which is ridiculous numbers. Yeah. So we'll see how it all washes out. So quick AEW headlines. The Jericho Cruise just wrapped up. There were some really kind of interesting things. We had in the last match on the last night, Enzo Amore showed up, and so he got reunited with Big Bill in that match. Tommy Billington got injured on the cruise, and Mina Shirakawa may have been injured during a Stardom show. All reports from the cruise, everything went well. Everybody had a blast. I saw a bunch of the pictures from it. It looks like the next Jericho Cruise will not be until October or November of next year. So, but it looked like everybody had a blast. AEW is back. They're doing their shows again. I'm about probably 2/3 of the way through Ring of Honor, and you're not missing much. Anything else we need to talk about, Don?
Yeah, if I could pull it up 1 second here. Only take a sec. This is a person. Okay, so in a couple of weeks they start the new season of Dark Side of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 10 episodes. It's going to be Hell in a Cell, Big Van Vader, Tony Atlas, Ludwig Borga, Billy Jack Haynes, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Superstar Billy Graham, Daphne, the original Sheik, and Muhammad Hassan. So those are the 10 Dark Side of the Ring topics that they're going to have
That's on
coming up.
Vice if you choose to watch that.
What?
And it's on Vice for people that want to watch.
Yes, on Vice. Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right, let's do the plugs over there by Don. There's a QR code. You can scan that and get to all of our social media. Do that. www.theclubhousepodcast.com is our website. Make sure you check that out. You can follow me on all your social medias if you'd like. Everything is Yes That Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN. Ziggy, plugs, go.
Everything beer 30 sports o'clock. That's beer and then the number 30 sports o'clock.
A great show right here on the network at Sunset Lounge DFW. Make sure you're following Ziggy. He does great work.
Thank you.
Don, you're up.
And get some awesome shirts that make me look good. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/cheappodcast. Excuse me. And at Twitter on Medic Bruno, IGBNUUU. If you want this madness at your place, like we were at the Royal Rumble, email me, Don, to clubhousepodcast.com.
We love doing live remote shows. Email Don. We might have one coming up in a couple of weeks, Don. You and Alex, I need to talk about that. Okay. By the way, Alex, my normal co-host, who should be back next week, he is Vexploit on all your social medias. We will be talking about everything that happens this weekend on next week's show, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You can email me questions, comments, concerns. Tell me to go pound sand. I am Rob at theclubhousepodcast.com. Charla Marshall is on Pinterest, and she was at the Rumble, and I'm hoping we can get a report from her on that. Our normal show every Thursday night. Boy, I almost said Sunday nights. We haven't been on Sunday in a while. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific is your one-stop shop for all things sports, entertainment, pop culture, and pro wrestling. Ziggy, you are welcome anytime you want.
Yes, sir.
You want to come on. So until next time, for Don, for Ziggy, for Alex, for the Empire, I'm Rob. Clubhouse is closed. Brittany Palmer's gone quiet again. She's probably in the Mediterranean somewhere, just living her best life.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.